Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the Saving Face podcast. My name is Rosie Burnham and I am your host. Today we have beautiful guest Lauren Massman on today. We do some turmeric and seaweed face masks and we talk about just the highs and lows of living in Taiwan, which is where we are both currently located, as well as Lauren goes into some pretty fun stories about her dating life here over the past 5 years that she's lived in Taiwan. So here in Taiwan, we call ourselves Waiguorens, and what that means is foreigner people from other countries. So if you are interested in becoming a Waiguoren, if you are a Waiguoren, if you just like to hear about other Waiguorens and their stories, then you have come to the right place. So without further ado, here is Lauren and I on episode 1. Enjoy! So today I have our very first guest, Lauren Massman-Scholes.
Hello.
Hi, welcome, Lauren.
Excited to be here.
Thank you for being here. Are you excited to be the first guest on the world's most famous podcast?
I'm honored and happy that I get it in on one of my last days in East Asia.
I know, you're getting ready to move to the UAE on Saturday, right?
Saturday.
That's so fast. Okay, so we're going to talk about your experiences living in Taiwan. You've been here 5 years, right?
5 years.
5 years. We're going to talk about the ups, the downs, the many of both, probably.
Lots of those.
And we're going to do some face masks also. So why don't you tell me about the face mask that you picked?
Okay, so it is a turmeric-infused, and it will be radiating and cell renewing, which is just what I need.
Amazing. Wonderful.
So
I'm going to be doing a seaweed balance mask from the Body Shop. And these are both sheet masks, so we don't need to do anything fancy and have it like drip off our face. We can just put it on and relax and enjoy. So I think both of these need to be applied for 15 minutes. So we have 15 minutes to talk. Is that enough to get it all in?
I'll talk fast.
All right. Well, before we put them on, I want to ask you, what brought you to Taiwan?
So what brought me to Taiwan was a job that, I was offered it on the very first conversation I had with the director, and, why not?
Why not? So you were a teacher in the States before you came here.
I was a teacher, in Virginia, and it was just time to leave that little, tired of the DC kind of life. My friends seemed to be doing different things and moving on, and so it was time for me to do the same.
I get it. So did you go to a job fair, or did you just apply online, or how did you get the job?
I did both.
Oh, you did.
I applied online.
Overachiever.
I know. Well, it helped that I had gotten the job offer in Taiwan, then I went to the job fair. And then I was like, well, it doesn't really matter what I do here. Just, dance around and meet other people. And then ultimately, when all the chips fell, decided to go to Taiwan.
Here you are.
Yeah.
And would you say that you are happy with that decision?
I am very happy with that decision.
I'm happy you made that decision
too. It all worked out. Certainly, I meant to leave 3 years ago. And, we'll tell you all what happened.
Yeah, that's kind of I feel like they say that it's sticky here, that people don't end up leaving when they say they're going to leave.
Not just the humidity?
Oh, no, not just the humidity, not just the climate. It's you can't pick your feet up off the ground and go back home or go anywhere else. But you know what? You're doing it. You are leaving.
I mean, supposedly.
We're not there yet, but Saturday, it's on the books. You got your plane ticket.
Coming fast. I got a van coming.
Oh, so exciting.
And all my bags
You gave me
packed.
your French press and some other stuff.
Oh, I got more stuff.
You got more stuff.
I just can't find anyone to take it.
I can always use more stuff. So let's go put on our face masks, and then when we come back, we will talk about your highs and lows of living in Taiwan, and we'll talk about specifically your experience dating in Taiwan, because you came here to find a husband. Did you? I mean, you came here to teach and,
I
and
came
grow
here
as a
to
person.
teach and grow as a person,
but also to
travel
find
the
a
world.
husband.
But let's be real. I also wanted to fall in love.
Who doesn't? So we'll talk about that after we beautify our skin. So we'll be right back. So we now look really pretty with these sheet masks on our faces, and we're taking care of our skin, which is so important. So, Lauren, I want to ask you, first off, if you can, off the top of your head, what has been your favorite part of living in Taiwan? Favorite moment, or just like favorite thing that's happened, or favorite thing that happens consistently, or, you know, if you're trying to like sell someone moving to Taiwan, what's the one thing you would tell them?
Sell someone on moving to Taiwan or moving abroad in general. I think
those are two different things.
That I'm consistently challenged. That everything that I have to do, and while it can be wearing and taxing, requires just a little bit more forethought, a little bit more planning, simply because of the changing customs, because of the language barrier, because of just how things are compared to what I'm used to in the US. And so a little bit of a challenge, I think, is a good thing.
Definitely.
While it can be frustrating at times, it keeps you sharp, keeps you thinking, and that it means you're flexible and that you can conquer anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. It's like a fast track to growing as a human being.
It is.
Like you have no choice, really.
That, like, the amount of challenges, like, every kind of day, especially your first year, first 6 months of, like, oh, this isn't what I expected. Oh, this isn't, like, what it is at home.
And that, like, it's not something you could have ever expected or that, like, anyone could really describe to you.
No.
Awesome. So would you say that that's also been the hardest part, is like how frequently you've been challenged, or like
that there certainly were days where you're like, I just want it to be easy. I just want it to be easy. I remember, God, after my first year or first couple of months of living here, there's something about the floors, the like white tile floors in Taiwan. I swear they have their own like magnetism. Everything falls and everything shatters. The amount of glasses that I have broken. I mean, I drink wine out of plastic cups, and that's for the good of everyone.
Lauren, can I confess something to you here on this podcast?
Please.
You sold me your coffee grinder, Chris's coffee grinder. This morning I fucking dropped it and broke the top of it. And I also cut my finger open on it somehow. So it's like, no, I get it. Like, that's a thing.
It's fine. I think I dropped that money somewhere on the street. You know? So, quite honestly, it wasn't meant to be.
It's fine. It's fine.
You sold it to me, but I lost the money.
So that's just Taiwan for you. That's what it'll do for you.
Yeah, oh my God. If you got quick hands, which I do not.
Well, you know, if you did drop the money on the ground, nobody's gonna pick it up because it's ghost month.
Well, damn, it's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there. People are gonna think it's ghost money.
You know who probably got that? That fat rat that you saw yesterday.
Am I allowed to say fuck on my own podcast?
Yeah, well, it's your podcast.
All right, new rule. We can say fuck.
Say fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that fucking rat.
So, about Taiwan. There are rats. There are cockroaches.
The rats seem to be, I don't know. I've never lived in New York City, and they talk about their big rats. I feel like, maybe this is naive as someone who's never lived in New York, but I feel like these rats could give New York City rats a run for their money.
They are well fed and comfortable. But let me tell you who else is a menace. The squirrels.
The squirrels? I've never had a run.
So Rosie and I worked at a school that had an outdoor campus, if you can imagine.
Beautiful campus.
Yeah, beautiful campus.
Misleading.
But you had a water station where you fill up all your water. And the tubes to the water station kept on like spraying. It was really actually very nice. You would have this mist out in the hallway. It's real hot, so if you just have a leaky water fountain spraying mist into the hallway, it's great.
That's fine.
Well,
unless
not Miss Jane didn't think so. So we got some traps, and don't you know, one morning we had a squirrel in one of them.
A squirrel in a trap.
A squirrel in a trap. And I come into school, start screaming. We got a squirrel in a trap out in the hallway. And thank God, another teacher, Arthur, came on out, let the squirrel right out. Jane was pissed.
What was she going to do with it?
She was like, "What? Why did we put out these traps?" I was like,
why did you put out the traps?
For rat. I was like, you put out
rats.
the trap for rats. She's like, no, we put them out for squirrels.
What are the squirrels doing?
Eating the tubes.
Oh, that's why.
Apparently.
Oh my God. Wow, I never knew. I knew that the rats were a menace. I didn't know about the squirrels. And I knew that the ducks can be aggressive.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
that's because the kids are chasing them all the time.
That's what I say. I'm like, guys, these are wild animals. Just simmer down.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the squirrels, though. I had to warn them.
Apparently.
Wow. Amazing. So, Lauren, the next thing I want to ask you that a lot of people, so I sent out an Instagram poll forever ago when I was thinking of starting this podcast to be like, what do you guys want to know about living abroad? And overwhelmingly, the number one question was, what is the dating scene like? And I know that you had some experience in the dating pool here in Taiwan as a foreign lady. So I wondered if you could just share some of those experiences with us and how that was for you.
So, dating in Taiwan, highs and lows, you know. It's like dating anywhere except harder. So, one of the things as a white woman is that the men here, and whether you're into whatever you're into as far as race or type of guy that you go toward, if you are a foreigner woman who also gravitates and is attracted to foreigner men, they have their choice of the litter. Now, what I found here was a lot of the foreigner guys are very attracted to Taiwanese women, and I can't blame them.
No.
I mean, my own father, a couple of years ago, we were visiting Japan, and in front of both my mother and me, admitted at the table, he was like, you know what, these Asian women?
Oh,
He's like, they've got nice skin, their hair's shiny. I get it.
Just for context, Lauren, how old is your father?
Oh, God, I think he's about to turn 70.
Okay.
My father and my mother have been happily married for almost 40 years.
And yet, dare I say, if he decided to move here to Taiwan as a single man, he would still have his choices, wouldn't he?
I mean, he's an interesting guy. He's got a lot to say. I think so.
I think so.
I think he could do quite well for himself. Get him a
For
Tinder
your and your
account.
mother's sake, I hope that's not the case, but
Well,
that's just how it works here.
Yeah, that is just one of those things that you meet these sweet Taiwanese women and kind of loserish boyfriends, but they're white.
Yeah.
And so that's all right.
Yes. I wouldn't pretend to know everything that's behind that.
Mm-hmm.
But I absolutely see that pattern happening.
See the pattern. And so going in to dating as a foreigner woman, especially dating, and I, for myself, chose only to really pursue other foreigner guys. And I came in moving to Taiwan of like, oh, there'll be other expats and we'll have a community. And I didn't do my research. I didn't know exactly what the dating scene would look like. And so, tell you, one of my first dates was with a friend's ex-boyfriend.
Oh, slim pickings.
Oh, yeah.
How'd that go?
Wow.
Did you know at the time that was a friend's ex-boyfriend, or did that come up later?
I I knew.
Lauren!
I know. It's not my finest.
I mean, it's hard, though. It's hard to find
well,
anyone at all.
He was offering, he's like, hey, like, I know some people going to this club this night. You don't know anybody. Let me take you out. And so, like,
Why not?
why not? What am I supposed to do? And, I don't know if she ever found out.
Well, she's about to, because this is Apple Podcast's #1 most listened to first episode.
Yeah. So my first date here was with a guy, a friend's ex-boyfriend, and that's just kind of that if anything, there aren't that many of them, and there aren't that many of us. And
so you do what you can.
We just go around. So that was my first date, and then...
What was the worst date?
My worst date? Ooh, but also my favorite date is the one date I went on with a Taiwanese man. No, it was an all-day date.
Okay.
It was an all-day date.
How all day are we talking?
So, I think I got on... Maybe met him around 1:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
That it was, what was it? Not 10:10. Before that, Moon Festival.
Oh,
Moon Festival weekend in the fall at the end of September. It's a big, lunar calendar kind of festival that they have in Taiwan. You get a 3 or 4 day weekend, and they barbecue. That's the tradition. So I go down, I meet this guy, he's going out to lunch with his friend. So this Taiwanese man that I had met the weekend before, drunk at a bar, giving him my messaging information. And so he invites me down. I go. We eat some barbecue, one of those little restaurants where you barbecue in the middle of your table. And then... because we've got some time to kill before he takes me to the movie. We go to Costco.
The most romantic date setting I could possibly think of.
We drive over. It was packed because, let me tell you, if any of y'all ever moved to Taiwan, they love Costco.
They love
Costco. And you can't go there on a weekend.
Oh my god. I went last weekend and I was like, wanted to kill myself.
Why? You only go during the weekdays.
Oh my god. It's like a daytime family activity.
It's just something to do. And now that they're serving samples again, all bets are off.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway. So we go to Costco,
romantic date spot.
We walk around. We go to another market. We walk around a little bit.
Did you buy anything at Costco?
No. I'm not shopping. I was on a date.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
We were supposed to meet his friends at Costco. Like, they never showed up. And what the fuck?
Costco.
What the fuck are we doing at Costco anyway?
Did you get a cart?
No,
it was
the store was way too crowded for that. We couldn't even get any samples.
Well, then what the hell's the point?
There was no point.
All right. Okay. All right. Sorry, I interrupted you. Keep going.
Okay.
So you went to the market.
We went to the market. There were some like giant crabs. Actually, I took him to the market because I was like, "Hey, across the street, there's this market. They have these like crabs the size of your face." So we went there. Then he takes me to the mall. We go and we play air hockey for a little while. Yeah,
at the mall.
At the mall.
So just real quick. We don't have to go all the way into it, but the mall back home versus the mall here. At least in the malls in Colorado, I wouldn't usually find air hockey. I wouldn't usually. It's not usually I mean, maybe when I was in middle school, it was a date night spot, but not really now.
No, here. So one thing is that almost every mall here has a Tom's World, which is their amusement, like, game center. And so everywhere there's an arcade. And then also a lot of, I feel like some young Taiwanese people like to drink, and then they're not also big drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, go
play video games.
Go to the arcade. So we end up playing some air hockey. Takes me to a movie.
Also in the mall?
Also in the mall. That's why we were there. Also in the mall.
What movie did you see? Do you remember?
Ooh, it was Zac Efron and Adam Devine. Someone and Dave need wedding dates.
Oh, I think I remember this, but I couldn't tell you what the name of the thing is. I remember seeing the trailers for it, though.
A decent B plus kind of comedy. I'm not a film reviewer, but maybe if I do my own podcast,
then that's what you could do.
I could
Dave and something.
Just give my opinion. A completely uneducated, unwarranted opinion.
Now here's what I really want to know about that movie: English with Chinese subtitles.
English with Chinese subtitles.
Oh, that's the
so
best.
if they are American movies, almost all the time, it's English with Chinese subtitles.
So did you do, because one of the most amazing things that I've discovered here since moving to Taiwan is what do they call it? When you go to the movies and it's super fancy? The
gold class?
The gold class. Did you do gold class that day?
I wasn't having sex with him.
He
wasn't
gold class.
Gold class.
So gold class, you paid for the movie?
No. But I wasn't going to have sex with him, so why would he get gold class?
Oh, I see. So he knew ahead of time that you weren't going to have sex with him. It wasn't just a you knowing that. It was a both of you knowing that.
Well, we'll continue.
Okay, all right. But real quick, gold class is phenomenal. So it's, 400 NT?
Yeah.
Which in the States is like $12, $13, which is what you would pay for just a regular movie ticket without any snacks or anything. But here, the gold class, that extravagant price of 400 NT will get you like your own armchair and like a blanket and to your seat service where you can doesn't it include a drink too?
Yeah, it includes like
two beverages or something
like a beverage,
that.
You get popcorn, you can get beer.
The most comfortable movie going experience I have ever had. I will not see a movie regular in Taiwan ever again because it's like for the price of a cheap movie ticket in the U.S., I feel like I am the richest woman on earth.
Yeah.
And the most important. Experience. And that's, I can pay $12 for that.
Why not?
Why not? Okay, so after the movie, what'd you guys do?
After the movie, we went to get ice cream. And by the way, when I say ice cream, I mean shaved ice.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Yum.
Something to know.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, is that when they say ice cream, it's not always ice cream that you would think of, but shaved ice. And the shaved ice could have many toppings, whether it's chocolate or mango or other fruit, or if you're feeling really adventurous, sweet beans.
Sweet beans.
Sweet beans.
Is that what you had on your date night, Lauren?
No. That, so one thing in Taiwan that's really popular is like the red bean cakes and the sweet beans as dessert, but I mean like regular chocolate, we had ice cream. Now my friend here, my date, had a little accident the week before, 2 weeks before, and so he had a really enlarged middle finger.
Okay.
Yeah, it is some kind of accident, and it was hurting with him. And so after the ice cream, we had to stop at the doctor's. So he could go see the doctor.
On your date still?
On my date. This was an all-day thing.
This is like, I think he needed to run some errands and forgot about your date.
I mean, I was there. I was there the whole time.
Costco, doctor's appointment. Okay, so how long were you waiting at the doctor?
Got 20 minutes, maybe. One of the great things about Taiwan is the medical care is fantastic. Super it's a nationalized healthcare system. And you can stop at the doctor, tell them what's wrong, and they will see you, and it only costs a couple of dollars.
Yeah, and they like fix it too. Like I was amazed with the one time I've actually like had a real doctor's appointment that I went to because I still I'm fearful of going to doctor's offices because in the States it's like. It's like,
gonna put me in debt? Am I dying?
Yeah. then why would I go?
I'm not dead yet.
Right. But with like COVID and everything, when I had a cold, I was just being extra cautious, and everybody's like, no, this is Taiwan, like just go to the doctor. And of course it just ended up being a regular cold, but I was amazed that the doctor actually did something about it. He didn't just say, oh, you have a cold, now you owe me $300. He was like, you have a cold, I'm going to like swab the inside of your nostril with saline and like give you all this medicine and do all these things to make you feel better before you leave. And it all happened in like 8 minutes. I was like, and it cost like $4.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, that's what, when I had
insane.
What I assume must have been a stomach ulcer, and they checked me into the ER, but they ran every single test in the book, and then an hour later they're like, yeah, we don't know, but if we were going to find it,
we'd have found it.
We'd have found it by now. Good luck. Yeah. But again, only $20.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. That's not so bad. All right, so you're waiting at the doctor for 20 minutes.
Well, and of course, that put me really in the mood. So he takes me over to Lover's Wharf.
Oh.
Yeah. So we can go watch the fireworks.
Do those happen every day?
Well, it was Moon Festival, so I don't know if it's every day, but we went and we watched some fireworks, and there's boats, and then he touched my breast.
With permission?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Scoundrel.
Wow.
How did that,
Okay. Okay.
Back up.
So I'm standing, like, watching the boats against the railing, have my hands up against the railing. He's standing behind me, and then he just, reaches that fat finger on
the
behind,
swollen one.
Onto my breast.
Okay. Just the one finger or all of them?
All of them.
Okay. But especially that one.
And whispers just the softest words of, soft.
Oh my God.
And at that point, I was terribly uncomfortable and asked to go home.
Okay, good. Good for you.
He drove me to the train station, where then he asked if, he's like, oh, well, can I come with you back to Tainan? No. And I'll see you later.
Did you ever see him later on?
Oh, no.
Oh, good.
No.
If you're going to do a surprise boob grab like that, you have to have something better to say. Even if it's your second language, I'm sorry. You got to have something else planned out.
Come on, like, it's a boob.
That's a boob.
Why wouldn't it be soft?
Yeah, you're stating the obvious there.
If it weren't soft, we would.
Then there'd be something to say.
The alarm.
Yeah. You don't need to just confirm that your soft boob is still soft just because he's touching it. Wow. Wow. So that's your best and your worst date.
My best, my worst,
your favorite,
my
least
favorite. I mean, I feel like I had fit so many dates into that one day that, like,
you were good for a while.
I hit them. I did them all.
Yeah.
No problem.
Now, something that you can say that not all foreigner women who've come to Taiwan can say is that you did indeed succeed, and you did find your one true love here.
I did find my one true love here. So, now, dating was rough, and as I went on many, many Tinder dates, to the point where I would scroll through Tinder and they'd be like, no match. Like, there's literally no one in this area that we could show you that you haven't either, like, rejected or already gone out with.
Tough. That's rough.
Yeah, it was a spot. It was a spot to be in. And so, enter my now husband.
Angel.
Oh, that Chris. Now, the funny story about meeting Chris is that I, in fact, met him 6 months before I really realized that I met him, that one of my best friends at the time, who she ended up being one of my bridesmaids a year ago, that her boyfriend, I had told him we were all like going out for the night, we were going to a club, and so I was like, okay, Pierre, bring me a nice guy. Like, don't you know anyone for me to date? And he was like, yes, I do know someone. And lo and behold, enter Chris.
I didn't realize that Pierre set you guys up.
Pierre set us up.
Wow.
However, alcohol is a funny thing, and so was Chris's beard. And
wasn't a match right away?
It just didn't happen.
Wow.
It just didn't happen. That my friend Jess has very distinct memories of me standing there, like, doing the neck or, like, in this ring, like, oh,
not happening.
No. And no.
Here you are.
Nothing happened until.
So what changed your mind?
I then got to know him. Well, first I dated a really big narcissist. And then I met Chris again. We got to know each other a little bit. And after a couple of months of doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu together, which is, again,
a romantic hobby.
If you move abroad, you might find yourselves doing things that you never thought you would, which includes martial arts wrestling. Which
happens to the best of us.
You just kind of lose your way a little bit, but you didn't really lose your way because you end up where you're supposed to be.
It's just very confusing.
But darn was I bruised. I looked
and you know what? You have a husband to show for it.
I have a husband to show for it. And I am a 4-stripe white belt.
I don't know what that means, but it's more than me.
As a white belt, I'm the highest white belt. I'm still terrible.
Is white
the lowest?
Okay.
The lowest.
I didn't want to say it, but in karate, I think I remember from 2nd grade karate that white belt is just about the lowest you can be. But 4 stripes.
Yeah. I have 4 stripes onto my white belt. Still white.
Still white.
I mean,
but striped white.
Striped white.
Okay.
It shows that I showed up.
You did. At least 4 times.
I showed up for classes and got my ass kicked repeatedly.
Wow. And you know what? Who else can say that?
Well,
I can't say that.
I got my ass kicked and I fell in love.
You fell in love, and there's nothing more romantic than both of those things happening at the same time.
Right.
Love kicked your ass, Lauren.
Literally.
Wow. All right. So I think we've gone over our 15 minutes. So let's take a quick break. We can keep talking in a minute, but our skin is going to be oversaturated with love. So let's give it a break. Okay. We have removed our face masks. Lauren, how do you feel? Do you feel rejuvenated?
I feel refreshed. I feel, radiating. I am radiating and renewed, and I'm
balanced.
It's packed with superfood, and I could tell, my skin could tell it was vegan.
Oh, wow.
Your
skin, the whole time you were talking, it was like, this is vegan.
The whole time, it's like, this is vegan, and now you can tell everyone about that.
Wow. Vegan face mask.
It's vegan. I had steak last night.
So you're not vegan, but your face is.
My face is.
I don't know if, mine doesn't say it's vegan, which means I can only assume that it's not. But it's made of seaweed, so like...
comes from the ocean.
Right?
It's natural.
That's fine. So, all right. So, any last closing thoughts? Any advice that you would give to anyone, or like things that you wish you knew going into living abroad?
I would say always say yes, but don't be afraid to say no.
Oh, that's great advice.
Yeah.
That's just for anyone, not even just living abroad.
Just living abroad. Say yes. Just say yes. And then if it's weird, say no. Be open But always have an exit strategy.
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, like, I don't know. I feel like before I moved, it was like I would say yes way too much and not say no ever. And then it was like I wanted to say yes to only the things that are important to me. And that has taken some learning. Is that, like, you gotta know what to say yes to. Because if you're just saying yes to, like, doing everybody favors all the time, then you're like, who am I, really? But if you say yes to things that are exciting, even when they're scary, like, if something's scary just because it's new and different, that's not, you don't need to say no to that. If something's scary because you're, like, your instincts are like, don't do this, then yeah, fucking say no to that thing.
Yeah.
Because instincts are king. But yeah, I think, like, having an exit strategy to anything is a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Make a friend. You don't have to make tons.
At least one is helpful.
But make one.
Well, Lauren, I am so glad to have you as my friend. And I'm sad that you're moving on away from me, but I'm also really happy that you're moving on, and bigger and better things are ahead for you, and you're going to have to be a Skype guest on the podcast again.
I will. I'll let you know.
Once you have, like, your bearings in Abu Dhabi.
Comparison.
Wow. Well, thank you for being the first guest on Saving Face, the brand new, most exciting, popular podcast in the whole world. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
They love Costco.
They love Costco.